we were capable and we knew ourselves as all capable, and we really just did our own work, the world wouldn't have to show up that way. It's only our consciousness. Mind creates matter. If we want to believe in a broken world, we will continue to create a broken world. So I invite you to believe in a beautiful world and create from your beautiful world.
Hello, welcome to Women Awakening. I'm your host, Cynthia James. And, this is a space where extraordinary women from around the globe step forward to share their wisdom, their courage, and their dedication to uplifting the well-being of women everywhere. I've been thinking a lot about this. I believe we're living in a time of profound emergence where women's voices and their visions and their leadership are rising in powerful ways beyond what the appearance may be. So I'm deeply grateful to be a conduit to introduce you to these remarkable change makers and their stories of transformation, resilience, and impact. So you can find Women Awakening on every podcast platform, as well as video on YouTube. Look for Women Awakening with Cynthia James. And then you please share your conversation, subscribe, and please leave a review. Your reviews truly make a difference in helping us reach more women around the world. You can also connect with me on my website, cynthiajames.net, where I have a newsletter and a private community and offer services. So I want to introduce you to my guest today. Her name is Simran Singh. She is the author of 9 books, over 111 magazine issues. She's an artist. She's 1111 radio host and the Beyond the Illusion Substack publication. As a provocative and bold voice for these times, she stewards individuals in understanding the sign of life and how to steward true oneness and wholeness by embracing the light and the darkness. Ooh, Simran, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Cynthia, for being you and all of the amazing, amazing work that you do and all of the powerful women that you continue to steward. I really applaud the work that you are creating in the world and how you are empowering women's voices.
Thank you. Well, I want to get into what you do, but I want to start with where you were born, how you came up. A lot of times women think people just plop into success and don't even think that they had a life before that. So how did you grow up?
I grew up in an Indian family, followed a pretty traditional route when it came to marriage and lifestyle and being very, very obedient. And life looked pretty good from the outside, but I think that sometimes even the best of lives are meant to be disassembled because it has to crack away what's false about us. It has to crack away the belief systems and the rigidity that we sometimes find ourselves in. Even though that feels comfortable, there's an underlying discomfort because of the limitations from the true self that we are, that is so expansive, so overflowing, so abundant, so infinite, so free. And so wherever there is restriction, I guess I was a bull in a china cabinet at some point and had to break through.
Yeah. Well, so I want to talk a little bit about how you got into the work that you're doing.
Well, I think it was dysfunction is the best initiate into spiritual work. When things hurt, when things feel bad, when things seem to look good but don't feel good, it's really what kind of led me into this realm. And I just wanted to figure out life. I'm a Piscean. I love people. I love the world. I love everything. And yet there was a dichotomy in the discomfort and the pain that I also saw. And so I wanted to really understand, how can these contrasts exist? And is it that the world is random, or is there truly a divine plan? Is there a web of interconnection that is not only existing, but ever guiding? And how do I tap into that? And it all began when I was on my prayer room floor, weeping, praying, begging, crying, screaming, and saying, send me a sign. Just send me a sign, anything. Just let me know that I'm not here by myself and that there is a meaning to everything that I see. And that began a really powerful personal growth path for me, which started with the numbers 1111, but evolved into me gaining this understanding of the multitude of ways that not just I, but every single person on this planet is continuously guided by signs, symbols, and synchronicities that enter in their life, not just once in a while, not just as a moment for you to go run tell your friends you wouldn't believe what happened, but truly as an everlasting conversation and a very intimate dialogue with the universe.
Well, that's beautiful. And so clearly it had impact. You got an answer 9 books later. Did you know how to write a book?
I had never done anything that I have fallen into, Cynthia. I think that's part of the magic. I didn't know how to write magazines. I was shy. I never knew how to do a radio show. At one point, I even went out and did a one woman road show tour and went on stage and was singing and doing comedy. Had no clue what I was doing the entire time. And yet I was led every step of the way. And I think the biggest message that I have received is that we have to stop trying to over prepare and plan and recognize that we are organic, that it's not about being the best and then showing up. It's about allowing yourself to enjoy the experience of you as the journey every step of the way. I say all the time, you are not on a journey. You are the journey. You are experiencing itself. You are every piece and part of the world speaking back to you about you. And then all of a sudden, the whole lens and scope of how we walk starts to change.
Well, I love what you're saying, but I also want to say there is an obedience part to this. You're being guided to something, and it may not make sense. I mean, what you just described was, okay, I'm going to leap over here, and now I'm going to go over here. Something was telling you to go, but what was it in you that was willing to take a risk and be obedient?
The part of me that was willing to take a risk was the one that said, I just cannot settle. I want to really know the full capacity of who I am. And I'm willing to take those leaps. Now, looking back, I can say that some of those leaps were reactive. And I think that that's one big message that I'd like to impart is that we have to really take a pause before we just follow the impulses, because sometimes that's a reaction to where we are. It can still turn out beautiful. We can still create amazing things. But in that process, what we're doing is really creating the mask of light rather than true light. And in other cases, it was because I just knew that the universe was guiding me in a particular way. And it didn't matter if that path was to lead me down into the darkness or up into the light. I knew that wherever I was led, that was going to be part of my personal growth. And I think that that's the other piece that I'd like to impart is for us to not judge the circumstance or the experience that we're in because it's all light. That even that moment that feels so tragic or so hard or so painful, that there's something in there, that there's a seed of light inside of that experience. So don't run away from it too quickly. Be willing to be in it. Be willing to feel all of it. Be willing to face it and allow the true ember of light to birth within you through that. And that was probably the most profound experience that I gained was actually when I went into the darkness fully and allowed it to swallow me so that I could meet what true light was and not just the mask of light or not just the mask of seeking, because all of those are false selves. We have to find the true light that we are.
Okay, well, I love this. And I can see that there are people listening going, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to go into that place. I want to be happy.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing talk to us a little bit more about false selves.
We create these false selves out of that place of, I just want to be happy. I don't want to face what's going on inside my life, inside myself, inside the world. I want to pretend that everything is okay. I want to protect myself from something that doesn't feel comfortable.
Mhm.
Well, we came to this incarnation to experience. We chose to be human because the universe does not understand what it means to feel emotions, to feel energies, to feel essences. And so we are allowing ourselves to be this vessel to allow for all of that. So if we can look at our lives instead of this road of either I choose pain or I choose happiness, and allow it to really be a piece of art that has all the colors and textures that a piece of art has, like the beautiful pieces of art that you have behind you, then we'll see that none of it really has to be judged. I found that I gained more out of the moments of grief than I ever have in those moments where things were just status quo. And I understand that it's a challenge sometime to say, I want to feel that pain. I'm going to step into that. That can be a challenge. But what I will tell you is the pain is only coming to take away something from you that is not yours. And there is a greater happiness, a greater joy, a greater fulfillment on the other side of that. And so that's really the choice. Do I want to live with this surface level happiness and on the surface of myself where the happiness will be temporary? It'll be from time to time. I can't fully run from the pain. Or am I willing to say, if this has shown up in my life, just as so many others have said, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And what is the gift in this that I'm trying to be introduced to that is the truer me? And every difficult circumstance I've been through, and I've been through quite a few, they have always brought me closer to my truer self. They have always brought me closer to the divine soul, spirit, essence, God, source that we are. And I have ultimately found that when I do my work, that is how I serve the world. Because every single one of us that are willing to do this kind of work, we then free another soul from having to show up in their pain to try to get us to do that work.
Okay, this is great. So
Yes.
let's talk about relationships, shall we? I mean, because relationships are a playground for what you're talking about.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
So you have clearly done a lot of work. Has it been challenging at all for you to be in relationships, to meet like-minded people that can meet you where you are?
I think that as you move on your spiritual growth path, part of that is discernment. One thing I learned about the signs is as you change and as you follow the signs of the universe and you really do the work that is here for us to do, the vibrations that are not like you will fall out of your life and other vibrations will come in. And that's kind of a barometer to your personal growth. Now, you can cling to the unhealthy vibrations, and that's more of your work. But if you really allow change and you allow them to flow out, you'll be able to gauge where you are. Now, that's not a higher or lower because this is not about hierarchy. And even though you meet people that are so called of the light, you have to understand that we all carry the shadow and it's active all of the time, just like our highest self is active all of the time. And so take off your blinders so that you don't just see, oh, this person is all light and all positive and all spiritual and all this. See clearly, see the whole self, and let your body, let the signs show you what you're here to recognize. Maybe it is the brilliance of Cynthia James and her voice and her power to empower women that you're here to see so that you can find that in you. She is a sign for you. She is showing up to show you, a part of you that perhaps you haven't tapped into, or a part of you that is ready now to stand in full power. In the same way, when we look at the news or we encounter someone in relationship that, let's say, is narcissistic or is violent or is someone that loves to cause pain, we can point the finger. We can say, oh, that person over there is low vibe. Or we can say, where is that in me? This person has shown up in front of me to give me a gift, to show me a hidden part of myself that if I'm willing to embrace, willing to neutralize, willing to love, then all of a sudden I clear more of my field. I raise my vibration. And you know what? I free that person. They don't have to be that malevolent force that's on the planet. They may not clearly heal, but something inside of them will shift too. And that's how we really are here as one, and also to heal the collective so we return to the one.
Yeah, well, I love that you said that because it took me a long time to realize that some of the greatest challenges in my life were the great teachers
Yes.
and healing for all parties concerned. Didn't feel so much like that when I was in it, but it was definitely what I learned. So you've written these books. You'd have this magazine, 1111 magazine. You got a radio show, 1111. And I know you just told us you didn't know how to do these things, but what did you call in as support to help you move into these areas that you had not been before?
That's been a really interesting part of my life because support has been the thing that has been the most elusive for me. And there are those of us that are here to walk that path. For some of us, we're here to create community. We're here to have lots of support. We're here to open to a vast well that rushes to our aid. And then there are those of us, and oftentimes it is empaths, that are here to learn independence, that are here to learn to stand on their own 2 feet and to learn not to say, oh, why me? How come they always have so many people to help them and they always have this and they have that? But instead to say, I am creator consciousness. I am here to learn my full capacity of creation. I think that when anyone embarks on any type of career, whether it's in the spiritual empowerment or some other career that is out there, part of the beauty is the discovery of how we can do this. And as long as we can stop going to this place of, I'm here to heal the world, because that too is a false self. That is a mask, just as the seeker is a mask. But instead say, I'm here to experience myself. And if I'm willing to give myself the full gift of myself and be in the full invitation of life and all that it brings to me, then that overflow naturally, organically radiates to be the gift in the world that it needs to be. The prior is codependent when we think we're here to go save people and fix people and do something. The latter, where we're here to really stand in who we are and be independent enough to express that and create that, that is a way that we stop interfering with the world and we see the world as capable of healing. Now, for many people, they're going to say, well, the world is a mess right now. We can't see it as capable of healing because have you seen it? But the reason it's a mess right now is because there's so many people out there that need to be significant. They need to be important enough to go heal a broken world. If we were capable and we knew ourselves as all capable, and we really just did our own work, the world wouldn't have to show up that way. It's only our consciousness. Mind creates matter. If we want to believe in a broken world, we will continue to create a broken world. So I invite you to believe in a beautiful world and create from your beautiful world.
Well, I couldn't have said it better. If y'all didn't get that, rewind and listen to what you just said. I want to know how people find you, Simran.
They can go to either of my websites, 1111mag.com. That's 41mag.com. I have a lot of free resources there. Or they can go to I am Simran, IAMSIMRAN.com. And that's where all of my books and the work that I do with people is. Or if they just want to keep receiving my voice and my writings and my meditations, they can go to my Substack, Beyond the Illusion, which is iamsimran.substack.com.
Beautiful. Well, everybody, I hope that you will really run and connect with her, you can see there's a lot of wisdom that's flowing through her. So I ask the same last question of every guest on this show. The show is called Women Awakening. What do you think is the most important thing or reason for women awakening on the planet right now?
I believe it's more about the feminine awakening on the planet right now. I know your show is more focused towards women, but I really believe it's more about the balancing of our feminine nature, and that would be men and women awakening within us. And we've had some things upside down for a while. So I'd love to share two things and maybe make them right side up for you to chew on for a bit. We've believed that it's the masculine that's the doer and it's the feminine that's the receiver or the nurturer. And I would say to you that when the universe decided to create, the masculine was the witness. It was the void space where nothing existed. It was the feminine principle that was the creatrix. The feminine principle decided to create, and the masculine celebrated it. And that's how we have to be inside. We have to allow our masculine energy to be the witness and allow our feminine principle to be the creatrix and learn the balance between that, the ebb and flow of that. The second thing that we've gotten upside down is we believe that our grounding and our rooting is strictly in our feet. And we go out and stand in the grass and we think we're getting grounded, and sometimes we stop. But our true roots are actually our hair. Our hair are the roots that extend up into the universe. That is where our consciousness comes in. So if you really want to root and ground and empower yourself and empower our earth, let's work on the roots of consciousness first before we get busy moving in the world and creating things. And when we stop and still and we really nurture those roots of consciousness, we balance our masculine and our feminine. We learn how to truly be witness and creatrix. Then we empower not only ourselves, other women, other men, but we empower this world.
That was quite beautiful. Thank you so much. And what a beautiful way to change our perspective. I'm so grateful that you've been here, Simran. You're quite wonderful and quite wise, and I'm honored to walk this path with you.
Oh, I'm honored to walk with you as well. And again, I celebrate you and I celebrate all of those women that are touched by your essence and able to see you as their brilliant mirror. And I just invite everyone to take hold of my mantra, which is in love, of love, with love, and as love. You are in love all of the time. We are here to be with love in everything that we do. We are here composed of love in every cell of our bodies. And now it is time to express as love with each word, thought, energetic expression, and action. Thank you for letting me be here, Cynthia. It's been an honor.
My pleasure. Okay, everybody, I hope you really not only could hear her words, but feel the frequency, the vibration of what she was saying to you, right? I want to thank you for joining us, on these conversations on Women Awakening. I hope you walk away feeling touched and encouraged and reminded of the incredible power that lives within you, that lives within each of us, right? Because these stories are an invitation to awaken your own voice, your own vision, and your own unique gifts. I'm going to ask you to please remember to subscribe, share these episodes with women in your life, and leave a review. Don't forget, you can watch full video episodes on YouTube by searching for Women Awakening with Cynthia James. I love that she said, "You are love." Let's take that with us. So until next time, may you continue to rise, shine, and awaken to the fullness of who you are. I love you.